Alright, so let's do a walkthrough on restoring this 40-year-old made in Canada Traynor TS-15 combo. So I got this amp off Marketplace for 20 bucks, and the listing said the amp powers on but hadn't been tested at all, and even from the pictures you could see it was really filthy. Opening it up and cleaning it only revealed even more dirt. There were spiders, both alive and dead, inside, and I'm not really convinced this was even stored indoors, but let's get it cleaned up and playable again like it deserves to be. Another weird thing here, there's a two-way on-off switch that was stock on these. It's a white plastic one that was replaced with a three-way pickup selector. Either way, seems to power on. Let's see if it'll play for us. So treble pot seems fine. Same for the bass one. We get to the volume pot and there's already some crackling with nothing plugged in. So let's try this out with the guitar. The closest thing I have is a Squire vintage modified 6-string bass, so we're just going to put a capo on the 12th fret and pretend it's a guitar. Let's hear it. So obviously the volume pot's got a lot of crackling going on. I tried to play it and set it into a certain spot that if it would stop crackling you could just play through, but it cuts in and out either way. So let's get these pots cleaned up as well. Just before I jump into taking this apart, I wanted to show the back as well. Got some webs, dirt, and a dead spider living in here, but the wiring all looks pretty normal. It's all connected, so that's a good sign. There's also this note stuck to the amp underneath. It says September Monday the 18th, 00. I'm assuming this was 2000. Maybe that's when the power switch was changed. And last is the manufacturer's label. It's pretty smeared, but still on there. Alright, let's take this apart. Let's start the teardown. So first, I'm taking the handle off with 2 Phillips screws. This was pretty easy. I decided I was going to wear a mask and bag everything because this cab was so nasty. And it's only going to get nastier as we open up the amp here. So there's 2 screws on top, 2 screws in the back. And once you get the grill off there, you should be able to just pull the amp out at the top. And then I'm going to disconnect the speaker wires here, take a picture so I can put it back together after. And the screws on the front look like they were Phillips's at one point, but they got so stripped that somebody drilled flatheads onto them. So I started here trying to use flatheads to take them off, but it was quite a chore. So I switched over to a Robertson shortly here. And I don't know if it was intended to be that way, but they seem to come out way easier using it. Now onto the 4th, final screw. Should pull that face off. Speakers are actually bolted right onto there. With the grill, I'm just going to bag it. And same for the amp itself with the spiders living inside. Then let's get this cleaned up. Okay, let's start cleaning out some of the smaller parts. First, I'm going to separate our 2 speakers from the wood grill and the cloth front. Don't do what I did just there and get your screw bag magnetized to the magnet there. You can see how filthy this guy was. There's our speakers, separated from the front. Now I'm going to clean the cones themselves here. I know it's probably a bad practice to drag anything across the surface of these, but they're just so filthy that we're going to have to do it for this one. You should use compressed air if you have it, but I'm just going to use a soft toothbrush and wipe it down with a cloth. Now on to cleaning the handle, I separated the 2 metal parts from the rubber strap with its metal insert. I just used soap and water in here, and then I hit it with a little bit of some automotive interior protector, which you're going to see a lot of shortly. Now on to cleaning the grill. I'm just going to use some soap, water, and a brush. Really try and dig into all the corners here. And this part I'd say probably turned out the best. It was way cleaner after just a couple minutes with the brush. Alright, out to the shed now to clean this cabinet up. So everything was stored inside in those bags. Now we're outside. I'm happy to take them out, rub them down with the rag to just get all the super thick dust off of it. Hit it with the brush before we give it a spray too. And I'm just using some automotive interior cleaner, which lots of people have recommended online. It worked great. Run through with the brush again. I would do this probably 4 or 5 more times. I'm not going to show you every time I did it, but Basically rinse and repeat. Hit it with the cleaner, scrub with a brush, wipe it clean with a rag, flipping it over, doing it all again. You can finally start to see that gray tolex on the outside, not so green and nasty. And here's the amp circuit. I had a good laugh when I first pulled this out because it really is that simple. So let's clean these pots. Definitely use a contact cleaner if you have it. All I had was WD-40, so we're going to use that and that should be fine. You don't want to leave residue, but I'd say on this aluminum case, there's no problem with drying it off and having it cleared. Never ever create a circuit between two ends of this that you could shock yourself. Always just hold one side and try not to touch anything like I do here. I'm just holding onto the plastic knobs on the face of the amp while I spray. Do not try this at home because those transistors can store charge that can kill you. And just in case I haven't showed enough footage of this, I'm going to run through this with the toothbrush now. Moving over, getting the bottom. Alright, sorry for the Blair Witch looking footage here. Let's try and get this face cleaned up. I've given it some time between these shots to let that WD-40 dry out. Wiped it clean on the inside. Let's hit it with some of that automotive cleaner and the toothbrush. And doing the back side now. This will be your final step, and then we can put this back together. So let's reassemble this. Same as taking it apart, we're just going to reverse it here. I'll let you enjoy looking at the back of my head for the next couple minutes. I will say there are two little rubber seats on the top in case you're working on the specific amp that I brushed away during the cleaning section. Make sure to hold on to those and take them off before so you don't have to go searching for them like I did. So let's get those speakers mounted to the front. Same as before. 4 on each side. And we're just going to drive those long Robertson screws back in. Really couldn't have blocked the shot anymore if I tried. Alright, and with the speaker wires reconnected and the speakers wired to each other, let's give this a shot. Let's test it out. So hopefully you can see this on video, but this cap's night and day. We can actually see the gray color that it is, not the green that was smeared on top of it with dirt and grime. No more spiders living inside. But let's see how it sounds. So this we love to see. There's not any crackling when I'm moving through the volume pot here. All sounds normal, nothing's cutting out. The other pots weren't crackling before, but seem fine now as well. Same for the bass. So let's try it. Sounds like it's back to me. Let's try a quick demo. Alright, quick disclaimer. I'm no guitarist. This isn't a real guitar, it's a 6-string bass. But I'm hoping that even on camera audio this will give you just some idea of how it sounds. So let's try it.